my hairless cat legs.
Disgusting bear legs. Okay. All right. Well, we got an interesting one tonight.
This is different
because it's not actually whiskey. The closest thing to not whiskey that we've ever reviewed is probably those Indian whiskey, not whiskeys.
Yeah. And we've done some like beers and stuff, kind of.
Yeah, for sure. But so we're branching out a little bit. I mean, this is not going to be a regular thing, but
no, we try not to buy things we don't want to drink.
No, true. True, but this is so. I've been saying this a lot in videos lately, but I went to the Tofino Wine Festival, as everyone knows.
Yeah, this is how we mark years,
right? And came across this interesting local product, and the wife picked it up for me.
Cool.
And I thought, this is let's try something different on Trendy and See here and see how she goes.
So this is Beekeepers Reserve Honey Shine. And I'm going to just quickly read what it says on the bottle. It says, Vancouver Island meets Barbados. We love rum. Alas, sugarcane doesn't grow here in British Columbia, but we do have some of the world's finest honey. We ferment our wild-gathered clover honey into a dry mead, distilled it twice, and barreled it up in once-used bourbon casks. The result is a rich, elegant spirit, amber-colored and full of spice in the style of a fine Caribbean rum.
So
pretty interesting.
So the reason that I felt that it was Trendy and See relatable was A, because it's shine. And you just instantly associate shine with whiskey. But it's also bourbon barreled.
Bourbon barreled, yeah.
So it has some elements of whiskiness to it.
And the other thing about this is it's made literally like 10-minute drive from here.
Yes, it's made at
really close. It's a local
Divine Vineyards and Distillery, and they are making some whiskeys there, some Scotch styled barley whiskeys that are only a couple years old now, but they're aging them. There's a lot of local distilleries starting to age. Get up there and pull the tab off.
I can never see them.
I think you gotta move it up.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, I really effed it up. Wasn't paying attention.
Get the teeth in there.
Get the teeth up in there. Okay, here we go. See that? We're gonna uncork it right here, where it's a decent little microphone spot. Here we go.
Yeah. Wet turd.
A bit of a wet turd. I think because there's like a bit of plastic that didn't come off. But hey, what are you gonna do? Okay, so this is Honey Shine, made from a distilled mead.
So it's
very interesting.
Kind of, like I said, in a rum style.
Rum style. It is 42% alcohol. It says it is certified craft distilled by the American Distilling Institute. This is small batch number 8. The distiller is whatever that signature is. And fermented, distilled, and bottled on Vancouver Island by Divine Spirits in West Saanich.
Cool. The funny thing is when you compare the Jefferson's small batch of like batch 455, bottle 11,000, and this is batch number 8, probably like bottle like 45 or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that, like this is like a real small batch.
Yeah, real small batch for sure. This
nose it up.
I'm gonna nose this up. This is quite different. I wouldn't say it's really rummy necessarily. I'd actually kind of compare it more to a distilled wine. It kind of smells more like a brandy.
Yeah. It is a bit winey, but it's also got kind of that tangy youthfulness to it.
It definitely hasn't been aged very long, but
it has I don't know. There's elements of there's elements of vodka, elements of rum,
elements of brandy. Yeah, it's got a nice sweetness.
It's kind of like you're trying. You want to try to compartmentalize this somewhere. Like, where does this belong? Yeah. But maybe it doesn't. Like, maybe,
it's basically just a distilled spirit from honey wine.
It's its own thing, so maybe we shouldn't be trying to compare it to something.
Because mead, if you've tried mead, it's basically a wine made out of honey, essentially. So this is a distilled version of that. Okay, let's taste it.
But like on the nose, like there's
some floral notes. There's some kind of like almost like dandelion sort of things going on.
And yes, honey.
And yeah, honey. There's definitely honey. A little bit of that like brown sugar that rum seems to have.
Hey, you're bang on with the dandelion comment.
Yeah? Yeah.
Like that dandelion milk that's like kind of sour when you like snap one off.
When you snap one out. Okay, here we go. Let's taste this stuff.
Okay, fuck.
Okay, so it's definitely a bit more...
Okay.
It's actually kind of nice. Like the finish I'm liking
It's
quite
pleasant.
a bit. The upfrontness to it, it's kind of vodka-y, like you were saying.
Yeah.
But the finish is actually what shines on this guy. Honey shines.
There is something slightly medicinal about it.
Mm-hmm. That might be that kind of like dandelion sort of thing.
Yeah, it has a bit of a tangy tartness and a little bit of medicinal, but it also sweet, but floral, and like I said, maybe even a bit wine-ish.
It's a little hot for 42%.
Because it's youth.
Because of its youth and potentially being rushed through the stills a little bit. And yeah, depending on... I'm not tasting a ton of the bourbon notes that you might get from like a ex-bourbon cask, but it does have a little bit of those vanillas in there.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
We've come a long way here at Trinity with our tasting notes.
Wow. Mind-boggling.
Anyway, so one of the cool things about this is if you guys find yourself out there and you want to try something different and you see something that you've never seen before, especially if it's local, you got to support your local distilleries or breweries or whatever it might be, because sometimes you come along to something like we have this one in Victoria called Victoria Spirits, and their gin, or if they
Victoria
change the
Distillers.
Victoria Distillers, and their gin is like really, really good. And they've also made a single malt Scotch style. And so some of these locals are really, really good.
If we're talking about the same place or not. Victoria Distillers is the one they've been bringing in the Scotch.
No,
and the Macaloni.
No, not that one. Victoria Distillers, where it's like got the picture of Princess Victoria on the front of the bottle.
Oh.
And anyways, we went there one time.
I'm confused.
I think they've changed locations.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways,
yeah.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Anyways, the point is support your local distilleries. There's a lot of
try and get their
there.
names right too.
Yeah.
But this one's also, they were serving this one with cocktails at the wine festival.
Yeah.
So they had like I want to say it was like a club soda and like a lime, and then this was
nice,
mixed into it, and it was very nice. But this, I don't think this is necessarily like you can sip on it. It's totally fine to sip on, but it's also cocktailable.
Totally. This would be good with like a what's that? Schweppes raspberry ginger ale, like just something like that would be good.
Yeah, so it's a bit different. It's definitely unique, and again, we're comparing it to whiskey. We've been drinking whiskey tonight, and I think it's a different beast.
Yeah, it's more comparable kind of to a vodka, I guess.
Yeah.
Like a honey flavored vodka.
More so a vodka than even a rum, which they've kind of aimed for here.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, it's interesting stuff.
If it was aged a little bit longer, then maybe more of those wood sugars would come about for the rum style. But it's a good start. Like it's a well-made spirit where sometimes the younger ones. I mean, you all know about Chuckanut by now.
This is better than the hell of a lot better than Chuckanut.
Yeah. So and what was the price on this? Do you know?
This is about like that $60 range.
I mean, that's not terrible.
It's reasonable.
Yeah.
And you know what? We could even chuck this in our barrel.
Yeah. Age it a bit longer.
Let's barrel it.
Yeah, we should probably.
Barrel it up.
Cool. Okay, well, thank you guys for
different
for joining us, and maybe tell us some stories about you making your own homemade mead.
Cheers.
Cheers.